Well, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I've got some movie news to discuss, so let me tell you about it. Some of the things we'll be looking at here, guys, is our final preview for San Diego Comic-Con. It's right around the corner. What movies and announcements we can realistically expect. We got our first look at Peacemaker's brand new suit in the DCU and how it differs from the previous DCEU. An article being released today that Marvel is going back to the Russo brothers for Avengers 5. Oh, that alone, so much more, so you know the drill. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Be on the lookout on my TikTok and YouTube shorts. AMC sent me a popcorn bucket, and no, while it's not the Wolvussy, you're not gonna see me use it just yet. It's a pretty cool popcorn bucket that not a lot of people have seen, so be on the lookout for that on my shorts and TikTok. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into our first story. And the first thing I gotta discuss here today is just paying some respects to other YouTube legends. As you guys know, Chris Stuckman, one of the most well-known movie reviewers here on YouTube, has been hard at work with his own feature film, Shelby Oaks. He's gone through a lot of ups and downs previously, but man, the guy is living the dream, because just yesterday we found out that Neon, the studio behind frickin' Longlegs, has picked up Chris Stuckman's movie and will now be releasing it nationwide, or at least as nationwide as it can get with a studio like Neon, who doesn't always show up at every state. But guys, let me tell you, this is literally the dream. This is like what people like me fantasize about, is that me just blabbing about YouTube news could someday catapult me into that stratosphere of making movies, being with those celebrities and whatnot, and Chris Stuckman actually did it. It's also just kind of crazy how much this has become a trend. You know, we have the Rocka brothers with Talk to Me. We have Markiplier, who's going to be coming out with his own horror movie. The Iron Lung, still looking forward to that. Now Chris Stuckman here, not only partnering up with Mike Flanagan, someone who I really respect in the horror sphere, but getting picked up and distribution from Neon. Dude, that is huge. That is more concrete proof that if you just follow your dreams a little bit, you could honestly make that leap. So it's honestly inspiring, motivating. How are you guys feeling about Chris Stuckman getting picked up by Neon? Next up here, let's talk about another horror movie trend that's starting to take over, where I'm like, I don't know if I love this or not. So yesterday we got revealed a little teaser video from Blumhouse and Jason Blum of the animatronic used to make Megan come to life as they are beginning production in New Zealand for Megan 2.0. Obviously, I'm pretty dang excited for this movie, but now this subgenre of AI gone rogue is starting to take over. I don't know if it was Megan just actually getting some critical and financial success, but it's kickstarted some other movies to be up there. We know the Megan universe itself already spawned a spin-off movie called Soulmate that'll actually be about a person who replicates their dead wife in a robot. This one most likely being rated R and for a more mature audience as opposed to Megan. And that movie is set within the same world as the Megan universe, although I think it's just a cheap ploy to give some brand notoriety to that. But okay, I'm still interested in that. Then when I went to go see Longlegs, they played the trailer for this John Cho movie called Afraid, where it's basically that old Disney movie Smart House, but with an evil AI. This movie is being made by Blumhouse and Sony, and yeah, it's just basically like if Alexa ran your house and it just became evil on you and started controlling different aspects of your world. And maybe I would have been interested, but this like AI robot taking over and controlling things, I feel like it's starting to get a little cliche, especially also because there's another report going around that Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema are currently in development with an AI sex robot doll that'll also be a horror movie, sounding a lot like Blumhouse's Soulmate that they're working on. And I'm like, dude, these AI killer robot movies are all over the place now. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I know I definitely want Megan 2.0. I still want to see what you do with that and if you can actually make it a fun franchise, because you know me, lover of killer dolls. But I'm torn between whether this is already cliched and overplayed out, or you guys are genuinely interested in every single one of these projects. I want to know from you. Moving on to some set photos that we got revealed. So obviously James Gunn has been hard at work with the DCU. We've gotten several Superman set photos. He's wrapped up in Cleveland and is currently filming a couple more weeks in another state. But in that time, they've also begun production on Peacemaker Season 2, where we got revealed this photo, really letting us know that Peacemaker Season 2 is not set in the DCEU, and it's the full-blown James Gunn DCU. The reason we know this is for a couple of reasons. For one, Peacemaker now has a brand new suit. If you look at this, there are some obvious differences from the suit he had in the DCEU. One detail in particular is that this one will have long sleeves, while the other one was short sleeve. The other big one that people are pointing out is the bird on Peacemaker's chest is flipped. And although I'm not ready to comment on how much I love or dislike this suit. It's a good enough direction. It's got those DCU lines that we saw in the Superman suit, but it's the other two characters right next to John Cena's Peacemaker that we're like, oh, they're changing up stuff. For one, it looks like his father will still be alive along with Peacemaker's brother. If you remember seeing season 1 or Peacemaker's backstory is Peacemaker as a kid accidentally killed his brother. And it looks like in the DCU, they're changing the continuity where that didn't happen to this Peacemaker. His brother's alive, he's still out there, and they fight crime together alongside their hopefully not racist dad. So this is kind of interesting. I remember James Gunn commenting and replying to people on social media that, yeah, Peacemaker Season 2 is going to address the fact it's set in a different universe, that some things are different while some things are the same. It's been kind of the confusing thing with the DCU, and I still find it weird that James Gunn, the head of the DCU, is going from like Superman shooting to on the weekends going to film an episode or two of Peacemaker Season 2. Like, how strange is that? That's like if the Russo brothers went from filming Avengers Endgame to then on the weekends directing an episode of Agatha All Along. You know, nothing wrong with Peacemaker, but with all the things they got going on in the DCU, I think there's so many other characters I'm more excited to see. But this is where I throw it off to you guys. What do you make of this new Peacemaker mural? It could just be a flashback scene. It could mean nothing. Or what do you think is going to differ in the DCU? All right, now, talking about, though, some San Diego Comic-Con. We've got a lot of ups and a lot of downs on what to expect. I'm going to leave the Marvel stuff till last, but looking at some of the things we can, I know for one, we are going to get a small Friday the 13th update. I can't reveal to you guys just yet how I know about this, but you gotta trust me on this. I have it on good authority. There will be a small update in the Jason universe. Do not get that overblown and crazy. I don't know if it's involved with the Crystal Lake TV series, which is still very much in the works. It's definitely not a movie announcement, but I have it on super good authority. We're getting some sort of Jason universe update at Comic-Con. It could honestly just be Jason showing up in Fortnite or some sort of like t-shirt collab. I don't know with that company, but just expect something for the Jason universe. Sadly, it looks like we have to just let go the belief that we're going to get some sort of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 update. Looking at the Paramount panels, while they did have a couple of mysterious things in the works, it looks like their main focus at San Diego Comic-Con this time around is going to be Transformers 1. This is the animated Transformers movie. They have the cast set to show up and do a panel. There's also word that there's going to be the first ever screening that week, not at Comic-Con, but right before that week, and so there's going to be a lot of online buzz talking about it, and it seems like Paramount just wants to focus in on that and not let it be overshadowed by Shadow and Sonic. So to me, this really makes me feel like we shouldn't even expect any Sonic 3 stuff until we get closer or after Transformers 1. But I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but so far it looks like there's no space for them to just randomly go, hey, Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, here you go. At Comic-Con, there is also set to be a panel for the Penguin series coming to Max. Now, while I'm sure they're mainly going to be talking about the Penguin show and what to expect and it getting all hyped around that, which I very much am, with Matt Reeves in attendance and this leading us into the Batman Part 2, we gotta hope we get little nuggets of an update on Robert Pattinson's The Batman 2, because I need it, man. And so maybe a pour-over question from that Penguin panel will lead us into some Batman 2 talk, but nothing's a guarantee. But now that leads us in again to talk about Marvel. Kevin Feige is kind of teasing up a big game here. They're going to have 2 panels at San Diego Comic-Con this time around. Thursday, when everything begins, they're supposed to have this Deadpool Marvel celebration where it looks very likely that they're going to show attendees again the 30-40 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine like they've been doing at other fan screenings. Some are hoping they just show the movie in its entirety, which would be cool for those people, since that would also be the week that Deadpool and Wolverine come out to theaters. But it's their Saturday Hall H panel that's got me the most excited, that we just have no idea really what they're gonna go ahead and show. I think we have idea for 2 things for sure. Because there's been some San Diego Comic-Con promotions for the Fantastic Four, revealing some artwork, we're gonna get a lot of talk and probably more details about the Fantastic Four. We also just know they revealed the trailer for Captain America Brave New World, and they have this little San Diego Comic-Con promotion, so gonna get more details on that. But in an interview, Kevin Feige did say this: we build movie schedules oftentimes, and obviously with the pandemic and the strike, that threw a wrench into it for a few years. But we're able this time to get back to literally designing our film schedules around what we would have ready to show at Comic-Con, to announce and set the expectations and the tonality of what's to come over the next couple of years. So it's not just going to be talking about stuff we already know, like Fantastic Four, Brave New World, Agatha All Along. No, it looks like we're going to get the classic Kevin Feige holding the mic with his hat going, all right, phase 7, here it is, boys and girls, because he wants to set the tone. They're making it sound like Kevin Feige's announcing the next like 20 projects in the MCU, and I don't know if I'm excited or I'm just already feeling overblown by that. But it seems like we are for sure getting geared up for big announcements, at least pertaining to where things are headed in the Avengers world, leading us to our next big story. Let me know what you guys want from the San Diego Comic-Con previews. We got revealed just moments ago, coming from the Hollywood Reporter, not a scooper, not some sort of internet rumor, no. One of the actual official trades has said, Marvel shocker, Russo bros in talks to direct the next 2 Avenger movies. Oh baby, they are back. Well, not officially yet, because right now it just says in talks, but it looks very likely. In the article, they mentioned that Kevin Feige has been hard at work with trying to find someone to direct the next 2 Avenger movies, because that's been the biggest thing that's been thrown in a wrench in his plan. You know, we had the Jonathan Majors Kang situation happen. We have a lot of unhappy people with the direction and where things are going. In recent interviews, Kevin Feige has made it aware that he knows that there's some people just not loving everything in the MCU right now. A couple months ago, maybe I would have said this is an obvious desperate move by Marvel, and while it probably still is, it's one I can't blame them for. They are trying to win back the good graces of those fans that have gone rogue, that just hate anything MCU as soon as it gets revealed. And bringing people back like the Russo brothers, who end up making the best movies in the MCU, is a smart move. Now, in the article, they also mentioned they're going to be changing the title for the next Avenger movie. We know it's not going to be called Kang Dynasty, along with a change in focus, so I don't even know if Kang is still going to be something they do in these next 2 movies. And you know, I've already seen some people say, I don't think the Russo brothers should be back. Have you seen their latest couple of movies? They've all been flopping and not getting good reviews. And that's kind of true. The Russo brothers have not had the best career outside of Marvel. Their films like Cherry, The Gray Man, and other projects seem to fall a little flat. Although I really like The Gray Man. Was pretty disappointed with Cherry, though. To me, that doesn't make me think, oh, the Russo brothers have lost their sauce and it's not good for them to direct an Avengers movie. To me, it feels like they work best under the Marvel guidance. You know, directors, producers, actors, they've talked about this before, that when you make a Marvel movie, the director doesn't really make the movie. Yeah, they steer the ship and they do a lot of the creative things behind it, but at the end of the day, Kevin Feige's wearing the hat, along with his like secret table of like 6-7 other people, and they're the ones really making the Marvel movie. And the director sometimes is just like on autopilot going, yeah, I'm directing this. And that kind of manner in making these movies, the Russo brothers just seem to work well in. They seem to take Kevin Feige's orders or the direction Marvel is headed in, and they're like, we can do that, and we're going to make it look awesome while we do it. But like I said, they're only in talks right now. I feel like it will happen, but the only other name being mentioned is Sean Levy. And he could very much take the job too if his schedule frees up and with the success Deadpool and Wolverine is about to have. But if you see some bad reviews come out for Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't think Sean Levy's getting that job. But this is where I throw it off to you guys. You see all these reports. You hear this stuff. Do you think Marvel is making the right moves? I'd love to hear from you guys. But that is all movie news we currently have going on right now. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.